How's everybody doing? Good. Questions?
Couple injury questions. Thomas Harper missed the game in the practice before, and then we haven't seen Damone Clark on the practice field for quite some time. Is he maybe close to getting back out there?
No, Damone will be. He is done indefinitely. So this injury took place. 3 weeks ago, I guess, 2 weeks ago. So unfortunately, it's significant enough to where he'll be out. Definitely. And then Harper has an ankle. It's just how fast could he be ready this weekend? I think it's unlikely, but you never know, so.
What is sort of the goal to accomplish this week? You got to kind of get the starters ready, but then there's still a few, jobs on the line, I guess, for some of the back-end guys. How do you balance those two?
Tricky. It is tricky, but I do think, number one, the focus is on getting this team prepared to play the season and us to be the best version of ourselves. That's number one. Number two is we still have spots available on this roster that we're going to need to fill with guys that are here right now that we think have an opportunity, but we don't know who that is. So there are real spots still available. And with that, not just spots, those guys could be playing for a significant time. Okay, he is roster, and there's a chance if he makes his roster, he's going to play for us a few snaps a game, or you know what I mean. So that's important too. That's kind of the next step in this. So you have to balance a little bit of that, but ultimately, I also know, I'm trying to get this team ready for New Orleans. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of those things. We're not diving into them yet. We're not game planning, but I just know we have to start working on us a little bit here to get ourselves sharpened up.
Excitement with the new jerseys release. What's your early thoughts on them? I know y'all won't wear them to week 8.
Yeah, I think I like them. I mean, I think they look pretty good. I mean, I saw them 2 years ago. I haven't seen them since. Are they out? I like them, I mean, to me, I think they look good. I think our guys will like them. Anything's a little bit unique. I kind of like the grayish. You guys know me. I like black. I like gray. So I think it looks good, man. Those helmets are always pretty cool, so.
You mentioned roster spots and starting spots. What are some of the positions that have the most room for moving and shaking over this last week?
It's a good question. Man, look, the D-line room is that one is, that can go any way right now. It really can. I mean, there's a number of guys in there. The hard thing is you can't keep all those guys. You just can't. Not without it hurting the rest of your roster. And there's some good players in there. And there's some veterans. There's some young guys. There's raw talent. There's things in there that you really like. And that thing is up in the air right now in a number of spots. That's probably the most significant. Back into the old line is always going to be up, and that there might not even. I say that there's a chance that player's not even here yet either. So it's not just here; it's also with the other 31 teams. That's a competition right now with somebody that might not even be in the building. Those are big. Receivers still back into that receiver room is still pretty big right now. So, look, there's still spots available. It's interesting. The D-line room is the most interesting. It's just top to bottom. There's a ton of good players in there, we feel like.
Specifically to that group, Dan, guy that joined midstream and just seems to kind of be steadily climbing the rep chart, Ben Stilly.
Yeah.
What have you liked about him, and where does his, chances still fall in this thing?
He's a pro, smart, really smart. He's got versatility, strong, very strong. He can shed blocks, shock, shed, make plays, kind of knows himself, knows what he is, knows his own limitations, and can play fast enough to cover up for some of those. But But that's what's the intrigue with him is the versatility, man. He can play some big end. We think he can play the nose, certainly, and then 3 if you needed it. So the more you can do and the more that you can prove you can do, that is always going to help your case.
Yeah, does he remind you of Kamish at all, just in his demeanor and versatility on the defensive line?
I would say that's fair. I think that's fair. I think he's a much more, and believe me, Kamish was a jacked up. This guy's even more. He's more suited inside out. Kamish was a little more 3 big end that could swing on some other things, but the versatility is real. We feel like when you just kind of watch it and what they're able to do, and I think that's a fair comparison of the versatility.
Will mentioned Kamish. Can we just drill down on the Sunbleach nickname? Was that you that came up with that? How did that one come about?
Well, that was just first day he showed up for camp. I just saw the golden tips. And I said, oh, the Sunbleached it, huh? And so he's been Sunbleached ever since. He's done a good job, man. Kid's worked his tail off and just keeps getting better and better. All those guys do.
Give a player a nickname, not just you, but whoever, like, that's sort of endearing, right? I mean, any of those guys, Kamish, right? A guy.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't give nicknames, so I don't like you. But that doesn't mean that if you didn't get a nickname that I don't like this guy. You're just freaking whatever, Bart. But yeah, I like to have a good time.
The defense migrating more towards nickel, how did that change the kind of defensive tackle you wanted? Obviously, you drafted Gil Howard.
Sure.
And he's a little bit smaller than the typical guys that you've had before. I mean, like Reeder and even Lopez. Yeah.
Here's what I would say. We always try to do the best we can with this. And Brad does an unbelievable job. He does every year. He has every year. And, I mean, as a matter of fact, he's grinding right now. I mean, the guy he's a grinder. He's a grinder. I mean, he is going to watch everything he can over any and every player, and he is not going to recommend or say something about a player that he has not seen, But I think with that, to answer your question, man, who are the best players, the most impactful players we think that have a shot to come in here and compete? Okay. Gil Howard's one of those people, right? Just like Wingo was a couple of years ago, and certainly Mack and Levi, and we got Lacey last year, and we can keep going. Chris Smith, all right. Yeah, nickel. But ultimately, Shep's done a good job, just like Drew. Man, what is our best personnel group? Who are the best players? And let's ask them to do what they do well. Now, they're going to have to do some of the things maybe they don't do as well, but they're not going to major in that. Somebody else can do some of those things. And so we're going to find the best personnel for us, and that's what we'll play in, too. So not only roster, but look, yeah, nickel, we'd like to. But if we're not suited for nickel right now because of whatever, an injury or this, man, we'll play base. We'll play it the whole game. We'll play dime. We'll play dollar. We're going to put the best guys out there that we think give us a chance. So we're not handcuffed by that.
But, I mean, as far as, like, with the nickel, though, I mean, do you have to play, stylistically a little different, like, with the defensive line? Because,
Not necessarily, because we can package those guys. And it doesn't mean that an offense can't, okay, hey, that's a lighter group, we're going to run the ball. Well, yeah, somebody's going to run it. They should. We would do that to people, too. But they're not going to make a living of that. And if they do those things, then something that might not suit you got to be able to, you got to hold your own. You got to hold your own at times. So am I answering your question? We'll package those guys.
For a defensive line, does it change a little bit because you want maybe the players to shoot the gaps more?
No, we don't shoot gaps. Yeah, we don't shoot gaps here. Now, rush is different. You tell me it's second long, we can pin our ears back and we can get some keys. Yeah, rush, but we don't shoot gaps, man. We're not doing that. Now, we'll by pressure we move, but then we get back in the gaps, stuff like that. We're a different scheme than some of the stuff that other teams run. That's just us.
Is there anything new with Kirby? I don't know. I've seen him as much here lately.
No, nothing new. He's doing well. Nothing new. He's not here right now. He will be though.
On the topic of the nickel job, Dan, does that still feel like a 3-horse race between Christian, Roger, and Keith? And do you guys prefer to have like a single starter there? Or are you open to having multiple guys fill that role based on opponent, matchups, down and distance, all that stuff?
Yeah, I would say yes, it's still open, and yes, we'll use whoever we think is best by down and distance or personnel or whoever it is. It could be any one of those guys potentially if they make it, or it could even be a guy like Whiteside. Let's say he makes it. Maybe he's one of those pieces that he's put in there for a certain down, or whoever that player is, or they're playing 12 personnel, or that's where we're trying to figure out some of this. How do we build this roster? What can they do? Where can we get them to the game? That's kind of part of the trick with all this.
You have a lot going on, so I don't know how closely you follow this, but there's a player or two who signed
NFL
contracts.
Do you care that I got a lot going on?
I do.
Because if you did, we wouldn't even be doing this right now, Dave. You'd let me get up there? No, keep going.
There's a player or two that have signed NFL contracts that are going back to college.
I'm staying out of that. I have no comment. I don't even know what to do with that. I think that's look, from our perspective, it's crazy because you give a guy an opportunity and you're like, hey man, this guy's got room to grow, and is he going to make it? Is he not? It's close. And then they leave. You try to develop a guy that just took off. I don't know. But you put yourself in their shoes. I can kind of see that too. If I'm that guy, that player, and I don't think I'm going to make it, and I don't know, man. It's crazy, right? It's unbelievable.
If you had gone back to college for the 2000 season, what would that have looked like for you?
Well, I can't run anyway. It wouldn't matter. Would it change anything?